technology and globalization reshaping the future of work, business schools need leaders who think ahead of the curve. To share a forward-looking perspective shaped by deep experience in management education, we have got with us Dr. Atish Chattopadhyay, Director, IMT Ghaziabad. Under your vision at IMT Ghaziabad, how are you integrating AI and other emerging technologies into the curriculum for a more tangible student experience?
So, thank you for asking this question. Technology is embedded in the name of Institute of Management Technology, that is IMT. And tech is evolving, so is our curriculum, so is our teaching learning pedagogy. So, there are 2-3 aspects to it. Number one is A in the curriculum. So, tech readiness as a practice course is embedded as a required course in the first year of the curriculum. And with the evolution of AI, we have also a required course in the first year of the curriculum, which is AI in business. That's one part of it, which is specific interventions or courses which are part of the curriculum. The other part is that how do you integrate AI in each of the other courses. So, for example, if you are talking about say marketing, okay, so what is the implication of AI in marketing? So, all these years students were doing say search engine optimization or search engine marketing. Today we are talking about generative engine optimization, okay. So, that becomes part of the functional courses also. That is the second part. So, one is the required courses, second is embedding it into the functional courses like AI in marketing, AI in finance, AI in supply chain, like that. And the other part is AI integrated in the pedagogy of teaching learning, okay. So, which means that when we teach, how we are embedding AI, okay. Now, there are a lot of deliberations as to what should be the extent to which AI should be used. See, just like Google, okay, when it came, lot of questions were asked if every question can be answered in Google, whether it should be allowed or not allowed. But then Google became part of our day-to-day life. I think that is how we have to see that AI becomes part of the day-to-day functioning of the professionals. Particularly in the case of India, if you look at it, 92% of Indian professionals are using AI in some form or the other. And if you look at IMT Ghaziabad, whether it is curriculum, whether it is pedagogy, we have embedded it in our teaching learning, and we have done a lot in terms of faculty development. Recently we got intervention whereby we had a professor from Harvard Business School coming and doing a 2-day workshop on how do we use AI in our teaching learning, and I think we will be one of the first to develop a case using AI, so AI based case. I think IMT is not just taking a lead in this direction, but I think we will be able to create a benchmark for the B schools, particularly in the Indian context.
You alluded to the faculty. Your faculty has a lot of research and case study output. So, how are you bringing that advantage directly into the classrooms?
Cases are ultimately a situation which is being presented to the learners, okay, and it allows to simulate a boardroom or a practical situation which the students are going to encounter as a professional, okay. Now, when you are deliberating the case in the class where the faculty is only a facilitator, what happens is one has to analyze, one has to evaluate various alternatives, take positions, which means decisions. Then one has to defend the decision, one has to debate. So, it's a simulation of actual real life experience, okay. And for a faculty to use a case is to generate that discussion, okay, and to create a situation whereby students or learners are forced to take and defend a position, okay. And that is exactly what happens in the boardroom or any of the meetings that we encounter as professionals. And I am glad that our faculty actively are developing cases and using those cases in the classroom. I think if you look at the case center impact index globally, we are ranked 25 globally. Our faculty has published 2 Harvard Business Impact cases and 10 Ivy cases last year. So we are really doing well in terms of adopting to the case-based methodology.
With the new Center for Financial Markets in Mumbai, what are the additional industry-linked opportunities that the finance students can expect?
See, we are in Delhi NCR, okay, which is an advantage. But if you look at it, the commercial capital, the financial markets are essentially in Mumbai. And we feel that, when our large number of our recruiters are from BFSI sector, and a large group of students are also interested in the BFSI sector, which is also one of the fastest growing sector in India. If you look at it, India, which was a country of savers, have now become a country of investors. Given that, it is important that our students are exposed to the financial markets where it is. And the idea was to tie up with the National Institute of Securities Markets, NISM, and to have a base in Mumbai, and we have identified the BKC as a location because that is where the financial hub of India is. So our students actually go, those who are in the area of finance, they go and take specialized courses at NISM, which is delivered by the practitioners. Okay, so they understand what is the practical context. They do certifications which are valued by the industry. They are exposed to, when you talk about stock market, you should at least go and see what NSE is like, BSE is like, okay, and interact with the practitioners there, not just in the formal classroom, but in the informal setting, and understand the language system. That is what we want to create in terms of the value that we want for the students to derive from the Center for Financial Markets. On the other hand, we have a strong group of faculty who are a blend of practice and academic, okay, and we feel that we can create value for the industry as well through sponsored research, through executive development programs. There is a good demand for that, and that also keeps our faculty current, our course material current, and our curriculum current. We were one of the first institutions probably in India, almost 10 years back, 2016, we invested in a 32 terminal Bloomberg, and we have a finance lab which is very well equipped, and I think that shows in the learner outcome and the recruiter confidence in our graduates who are specializing in finance.
You talked about placement. IMT has a strong placement traction. So what are the new roles and sectors that you're preparing your students for?
See, BFSI is definitely an emerging sector. FMCG has always been constant, consulting has always been constant, but there are other sectors in the service which are coming up. For example, GCCs, the healthcare is doing extremely well. Okay, so there is a movement from what traditional recruiters were like, the FMCG, consulting, those will remain, but the new areas like the GCCs, like your healthcare, okay, and e-commerce, which is growing, quick commerce, which has come up, and when we look at it, quite a bit of those startups which have gained momentum, and the students are also interested in those kind of roles because they get a different type of exposure, and there is an opportunity to grow fast. So today's generation is also an instant generation, and they want to have the excitement, and I think that our recruiter profile is to keep that excitement alive in our graduates.
IMT recently expanded its Global Pathways program. So, how are you ensuring that they translate into meaningful academic and professional advantages for the students?
So there are two aspects. One is this, that while globalization was one of the key things, uh, there is also a lot of impact of the recent development in geopolitics. So while there is a demand in certain countries, and there is some perception that there may be not too many career opportunities in certain other countries. So there is always a balancing and rebalancing act goes on. But our idea is to provide international exposure to our students and exposure to cross-cultural management, so that our learners or graduates going forward can become really global professionals while having a deep root in the local context. Okay. And the pathway programs that way creates those opportunities. And the pathway programs that we are looking at today are essentially in Germany, in France, in Spain. We are almost finalized pathway program with Avian City, which is in Paris, which is specialized institution only in AI. Okay. Then if you are looking at the recruiter profile, today luxury is becoming a very important area. So our pathway program, for example, with my French counterparts like Cage, luxury is something where they have a specialized masters, and some of our students are interested in it. Similarly, if we look at the Barcelona School of Management, provides a different context. So idea is that students do a common course over here in IMT Ghaziabad, and then move to our partner institution to do specialized courses as per their own choice. So they have got a choice of country, they have got a choice of specialization, and choice of I would say workplace, whether they want to be based out of Europe, whether they want to be based out of Middle East. We have got a campus in Dubai, and we facilitate campus placements in Dubai as well, and whether they want to work in India. And we have an office of what we call career services in Bombay, in Dubai, in addition to our base in Delhi NCR. So that provides a very different opportunity, and I think tomorrow's graduates need to really understand that they have to continuously monitor these geopolitical changes and should need to be open to de-risk their career and be flexible, and at the same time ready to work in different contexts, in different countries. And I think our graduates are ready for that, and IMT Ghaziabad is facilitating that.
As competition tightens amongst the Indian B schools, what would you label as the USP of IMT Ghaziabad?
I would say that the markets are expanding, and it's good that more and more players are coming in. And in today's context, if you see that even the number of globally accredited institutions in India has gone up many-fold, which was in 2010 hardly there were anybody. 2016 we became the third institution accredited by AACSB, and today there are so many others who are coming in. So the market has expanded, and I think there are 2-3 things which makes IMT a very different kind of an institution. Number one is the peer group that the students are part of. It's a very vibrant campus, everything is student led. What is said about IMT is that IMT never sleeps. So you will not find in a lot of other institutions that there is a 24-hour library which is open, the Bloomberg lab which is open for 24 hours for the students to access. And it's literally IMT never sleeps. So the peer learning, the peer interaction in IMT is very strong, and today with more and more people become hooked to gadgets, it is very important that the person-to-person contact and the person-to-person interaction is facilitated. I think that is where IMT scores a big. So, big plus for IMT. So, they are really street smart, if I have to say. That is number one. Number two, of course, the curriculum is very contextual. So, way back in 2016, when we got our AACSB accreditation, we got Professor Srikant Datar, who is the Harvard Business School Dean today, to lead our curriculum development agenda, okay, with workshops with the faculty, with interactions with the faculty. Today again we are working on a report, Future of Work, okay, is particularly in the Indian context, and working on a curriculum whereby we have three big what are called buckets, so to say. One is the fundamentals, which has to be very strong, the functional competency, which has to be very strong, and then for the career that you are going into. So, the competencies that are required for success in their career. And what we do is we look at the competency of each of our learners to an assessment center, identify where they are strong at, and they can build on their strength to look for a career or to align their strengths to their career. Okay. And of course, the advantage of choice in terms of whether you want to go to a particular country, whether you want to go to a particular role, whether we want to go for entrepreneurship, all these opportunities are there for the learners to choose from. So basically, the most important thing which IMT provides is the context where the learner can do what they want to do. Okay, basically to be what you want to be. Okay, we don't force that you need to do this. It's their choice, it's their pathway, and you curate your own curriculum, you curate your own career.
With your sustainability minor and inclusion policies, how do you ensure that they reflect in everyday student experience?
See, sustainability is not a buzzword for IMT Ghaziabad. It's something which is ingrained, okay, and that is why when the founder of this institution, okay, started this way back in 1980, okay, chose Ghaziabad, okay, because the context of Ghaziabad in 45 years back was very different, you understand. So it was to create an impact on the society and part of the social responsibility, which is part of our mission as well. Okay, and a curricular intervention, like we have got intervention which is required intervention on sustainability and social responsibility, where each of our students work with the communities with different types of through NGOs. The idea is twofold. Number one, to be exposed to people who are unlike them, okay, and number two, to enjoy the joy of contribution. And this started in 2016. This has gained momentum. It was featuring in AACSB's Innovation That Inspire Award, and the point is that led to the launch of the sustainability minor today, because there are recruiters who are interested in this, okay, students who are more inclined to make a difference, and students who have opted for such roles in the industry. But more importantly, apart from curricular intervention, faculty interest and the learner interest, we have walked the talk. Last year, we have extended scholarship to the tune of 16.8 crores to 3 types of students. For all the girl students, there was a 25% scholarship on the tuition fee, okay, all girl students. So it is about gender equality. For those who were economically challenged, we gave them complete tuition fee waiver, okay. And those who are meritorious, okay, certain percentile in the CAT and then maintaining certain academic criteria, we again extended them a 30% scholarship on the tuition fees. So I think we have walked the talk. There are very few institutions who would have put in so much of fund and budget in terms of actually making an impact to those who deserve, both in terms of those who are economically challenged, those who are, and I'm glad that you are also a woman, okay, so to all our girl students and those who are with merit, okay, and today we have 43% girls in our 2-year PGDM program.
That's very impressive. Now tell us about your selection process.
The common entrance test is only one of the criteria. So we look at academic consistency, we look at work experience, and more importantly, when we do the personal interview, we look at the person. Okay. So alignment with our values in terms of whether the person has a value for values. And to define it, we define it in a very simple way. Somebody who is non-self-centered, who can work in a team, who can collaborate, and who is ready to dirty one's hand. So these are the 4 things which we normally look at and make a call. So it is not just academic, it is beyond that. Okay. And I think if you interact with our students, you will find that they are very different from what you find in other institutions.
That's pretty holistic. Now, before we conclude this conversation, what are the changes or initiatives that you're really looking ahead to at IMT Ghaziabad?
See, we are in a very exciting time, okay. So I think 2-3 pieces if I had to call. Number one is we are in the process of reviewing our curriculum. So a curriculum which is very, very industry focused and current. We are reached out to our alumni, we have reached out to our recruiters, we have working with the faculty of other institutions with whom we are trying to benchmark, and we are also analyzing all the roles which have come to our campus and which we are aspiring for going forward. Okay. So what are the competencies required which we need to build in our students? So one is the alignment of the curriculum piece. Second piece is the faculty development. So we want to create a program whereby we want to get younger faculty group in our cohort, and I am glad to share that my board has approved 25 such positions, okay, to recruit young faculty and groom them as future academic leaders, so to say. And I would like to call that program IMT Lead, okay, which is going to be announced very soon. So faculty development, the second agenda. The third agenda is in terms of digital transformation. See, we are a very, so to say in the Indian context, old institution, 45-year-old, okay, very strong processes. So one of the agenda will be to make this a digital campus, okay. So that's the third agenda. The fourth agenda is globalization. So create those opportunities whereby students can actually look at opportunities not just in India but also across. And finally, we have a very strong alumni group, okay, and we want to make our alumni engagement very strong going forward, and we have now a alumni association with a completely different mandate which is run by alumni, okay, with a separate governing council. And I think going forward the alumni engagement of IMT Ghaziabad will be in a very different plane. That's what are the few things that we are trying to strengthen.
Well, so we can claim that you heard all of that here first. And yes, Master Moshai, it was amazing doing this interview in your winter office.
So you reminded me this, but yes, this is my second stint at IMT Ghaziabad, okay, and I was here till 2018, And if you look at the sunshine and this place, this is very, very pleasant, particularly during the winter season. And very often, when this is sunny, you would come here with a table and chair, and you operate from here. It makes you live within the nature, okay? And the air here in Ghaziabad is good air, and you can breathe it, okay? So unlike many parts of NCR, this air is a very, very surrounded by nature. There are a lot of trees, so it really refreshes the mind, and you can be part of nature, part of all the the students and the faculty moving around, and that is quite exciting. So that only is possible during the winter time. So I'm glad that you conducted the interview over here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the insights and all the inspiration.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, Megha.